Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. She said she was pregnant. The only problem was, I'd had a vasectomy 2 years earlier. I remember the exact moment those words left her lips. We were sitting at the kitchen table, sunlight streaming through the blinds, her face glowing with what I thought was joy. Then she said it, I'm pregnant. The words hung there, floating between us, bright and poisonous. My fork slipped from my hand and clattered against the plate. My throat tightened, my vision tunneled, and I felt the world tilt slightly off balance. I stared at her, trying to process what she'd just said, or maybe trying to convince myself I'd misheard. Pregnant. I finally managed, my voice cracking like dry wood. She smiled nervously, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. Yeah. Isn't it amazing? I blinked, swallowing the wave of nausea rising in my chest. Amazing wasn't the word. I could still remember the cold fluorescent lights of the clinic, the faint smell of antiseptic, the urologist explaining the success rate of vasectomies, 99-point-something%, and the confirmation test afterward, no swimmers, no chance. I stared at her trembling hands, at the way her eyes darted from mine, then quickly away. How? I whispered. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. She laughed lightly, a hollow, artificial sound. What do you mean, how? You know how. The world slowed to a suffocating crawl. My pulse pounded in my ears. Claire, I said quietly, each syllable sharp and deliberate, I had a vasectomy 2 years ago. Her face drained of color. The smile vanished. She looked like a statue, frozen, breathless. Silence. Then, the faint hum of the refrigerator filled the room. I didn't think you'd remember, she stammered. You said it wasn't 100% effective. Sometimes they fail, right? I could hear the desperation in her voice, the frantic scramble for solid ground. But I saw it now, the fear behind her eyes, the calculation flickering across her expression. I got tested, I said, barely recognizing my own voice. It didn't fail. She blinked rapidly, tears welling up. Are you accusing me of something? I didn't answer. My jaw clenched until it hurt. In that moment, the kitchen, once warm and filled with lazy Sunday breakfasts and quiet laughter, felt sterile and foreign. Like the set of a play I no longer belonged in. She reached across the table, her hand trembling. Daniel, please, don't look at me like that. I swear. Whose is it? The question came out before I could stop it. It sounded harsher than I intended, but I couldn't take it back. The silence that followed was deafening. She froze, hand midair, then slowly pulled it back. Her eyes filled with tears, spilling over onto her cheeks. I don't know, she whispered. The words tore through me like glass. I stood abruptly, the chair scraping across the floor. My heart pounded in my chest, a relentless drum of disbelief and fury. I walked to the sink, gripped the edge, and stared out the window, anywhere but at her. Outside, the world looked cruelly ordinary. A dog barked somewhere down the street. A car door slammed. Life went on, indifferent to the implosion of mine. Behind me, Claire sobbed quietly. I didn't mean for this to happen, she said, her voice cracking. It just happened. I turned slowly. With who? She hesitated, biting her lip. You were distant, Daniel. Always tired, always working. I felt invisible. And he noticed me. Who? I pressed, the rage boiling just beneath the surface. She looked at me, then away. Mark. The name hit me like a sledgehammer. Mark, my coworker. My closest friend. The man who stood beside me at our wedding, the godfather of our daughter. I laughed, sharp, humorless. Mark. Of course. I remembered the late-night calls she said were client emergencies, the business trip she insisted I skip because it's boring, you wouldn't enjoy it. The lingering scent of cologne I didn't wear. I'd noticed, but I trusted her. I wanted to trust her. How long? I asked. She wiped her tears. A few months. It's over now, I swear. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I thought I could fix it before you ever found out. Fix it? I repeated, my voice trembling with disbelief. You call this fixing it? She broke down, collapsing into sobs, her shoulders shaking violently. I should have felt something. Pity, maybe. But all I felt was emptiness. I went upstairs without another word. Our bedroom smelled faintly of her perfume, sweet and sharp. The bed, the photos, the memories, all tainted now. In the mirror, my reflection stared back, hollow-eyed, a man stripped of certainty. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in the dark, phone in hand, scrolling through old messages, old photos. Mark's texts were there too, harmless jokes, shared complaints about work. The casual closeness that had felt brotherly. Now it made my skin crawl. By morning, I'd made an appointment with my lawyer. But something inside me still needed proof, something tangible. Not just her confession. A paternity test. That was the only thing left between truth and madness. When I told her, she looked terrified. Daniel, please, we don't need to do that. You're just hurting yourself more. I stared at her coldly. If it's mine, you have nothing to worry about. The results came 2 weeks later. I opened the envelope at my desk, hands trembling. Probability of paternity, 0%. The room spun. I sank into my chair, staring at the words until they blurred. I should have cried. I should have screamed. But there was nothing left to break. That evening, I walked into the house quietly. Claire was sitting on the couch, hands folded in her lap. She looked up at me with red, swollen eyes. Well, she whispered. I dropped the envelope on the table. You already know. Her face crumpled. I'm so sorry, Daniel. I nodded slowly. I'm sorry too. Because I really would have loved you forever. I turned and walked out. She didn't follow. The divorce was quick, almost mechanical. Mark resigned from work soon after. The gossip spread, as gossip always does. Months later, I saw them together at a cafe. She was laughing. He looked tired, older. Their baby, his baby, slept in a stroller beside them. For a fleeting moment, I thought about walking in, saying something, anything. But then I realized, I didn't need to. They'd already sentenced themselves to a life built on deceit. I left quietly, the winter air biting my face. The world felt cleaner somehow, colder, but honest. And as I walked away, one thought echoed in my mind, calm and final. Some betrayals don't destroy you. They just strip away everything false, until only truth remains.